my name is Lent, but you call me Lent, and welcome to this video. What we're going to do this video is we're going to put landscape on the whales, so to say, whalescaping. And yeah, what we're going to do is sort of like a farm landscape that we also did on the center of the whale with many fields and some trees and such. And unfortunately, while I initially recorded this, I had some problems with the audio and because it didn't record. So instead of doing it as I go on the fly, I have made another test island up in the sky, and I will explain how I did make this, which world edit brushes I used, and then I will fly over this like the train itself that I just made, and I will explain a bit about like why, like the composition that I used. Okay, so let's show how I make these trees, the roots, how you do the all-around bark thing, and some fields with well edit, so quickly. So this is a small flying island that I created, and we're going to turn this into something like that. So first off, I start with trees, and how I make these trees is quite random. I think the trunk will be about 4 wide or 2 or 3, whatever. Like, I want to be quite irrational and odd looking trees. How I'm thinking of these trees is like ivy. It will grow everywhere and it will turn everything into one. It will strangle like whatever living thing it's growing on, if it's growing on a living thing. So I'm now creating just some roots, and this is again, I'm just flying and then I'm clicking somewhere. It's not, and then I fill in some weird looking areas. There's no real plan behind it. So let's do it like that. This is about the sort of tree that I would make. Then I will turn the tree into an all-around block. The bark block, sorry, all-around bark. And I'm going to do that with brush sphere 17 colon, I think 14. 17 colon 14 is, I think, the oak bark all around. 1715 I think is birch. 1715 is pine. 1716 jungle. From the top of my head, I'm not sure. Might be some switched. 1714, let's do a area of 10. And I'm going to set the mask to only affect blocks with the block ID 17. Oh, this is birch, so then 17 colon 12 must be oak. Yes, and it is. So now we have all around bark texture, and we're going to put some leaves on this tree. And what I'm going to do, I really like the randomizer in World Edit, because I think that whenever you're going to place actual leaves, it will be far too dense, and it will always be in a sort of pattern, even though when you try to do it random, it is just, I don't think people are really capable of making random stuff themselves. So I just I trust the algorithms on computers more. It tends to be more random as what any human would be. So I'm just doing now the leaf brush sphere 10% 18 colon 4, which is the undecaying oak leaves, and 90% 0. So that would be air. And let's do a radius of 2. Mask only affect air blocks. So I'm just pointing at the ends of this, like the branches, and this is like, here we have some odd space, which is just too odd. Yeah, that was a bit, sometimes it looks a bit too odd with randomization. Can I live with this? I think I can live with this. It's cool enough. Yes, I can do. What we're now going to do is we're going to turn this in farmland, and we need to water this, of course. So what I'm going to do is now brush sphere, water, and let's do a radius of 10, mask, underneath grass, underneath 2, and only affect dirt, so space dirt. And here we can see that it affects these blocks. Now at some point these will just start to flow, but under the whale I had some fortune, of course, that it just didn't happen that quickly. Ooh, it's starting to get laggy. Yeah, I just fill these in manually because I don't think there's anything such as edge detector, as far as I know at least. Is it all covered, please? Yeah, this worked better on the wheel itself. I do apologize. Okay, so now we have some, if it's all correct, if I didn't drain them. Yes, there's still water. So underneath all this grass is water, and now we just need to turn these 3 layers into farmland and they will be watered. So I do brush sphere, 60 is farmland, and let's do a radius of 10 again. Mask only affect grass and dirt, and only underneath an air block. Yes, that should work. Did I have Gmask? Brush, I did something wrong. What is it? Brush sphere 6010. Yes, let's redo the mask also. Oh, I did need to a comma instead of a space, of course. And there we have farmland. Of course, these will turn into dirt again because these aren't watered, but these ones should. We can see a little edge with water, so these should all be watered. So now we have farmland, and we can also paint in some carrots, for example, or potatoes, or wheat. And what I did with the wheat, I also put in some random melons and dandelions. And I'm not sure about the melons, but I might get rid of those. But I just didn't want to keep it all wheat. I wanted to mix it in, and I put in the yellow flowers because the normal flowers that I think would grow among wheat, if you've seen like any images of like the type, just the cornflower, I think it's blue. It's kind of quite a pretty flower, but of course we don't have blue flowers, so that's unfortunate. I'm going to do brush sphere, 95% wheat. Wheat is block 59, and I do colon 7. I think that's full grown wheat. I'm going to do 4% air, which is 0, and 1% dandelion. I think it's called just flower in World Edit or in Minecraft. And which radius? Let's do 10 again. And now the mask, it needs to be above farmland, so above 60, and only on air blocks. So this should work. Poof, there we have it. We have wheat and the occasional dandelion. Do we also have an air block? Yes, and here's an air block. So this kind of creates really quickly what I did there. I think I forgot a step anyway. So, and then the scarecrows I will put just in manually. And one thing that I forgot was putting leaves on the roots, and because when you're going ivy will grow like everywhere. The leaves will also grow on sort of the roots, so to say. What I'm going to do is brush cylinder, which is sill, 10% 18:4, the undecaying leaves, 90% air, and radius 2, mask. Let's do also wheat in this case, 0 or 95. Oh shit, otherwise I need to put... Okay, mask 0 or 95, and the brush I need to turn the 90% into 75 colon 90 or 95 colon 7, because otherwise I will replace the full grown wheat for air. So yeah, that would happen. That was not so smart of me. Ah well. Bug update. Let's... Ah well, you get the idea. If we just get rid of this wheat, brush sphere 05, mask 95. So now we'll get rid of the wheat, and brush sphere 18 colon, wait, 10% 18 colon 4, 90% air, radius 2, mask above, mask 0 above 60, mask 0 above 60. Would it work? Yes. So now we're just planting, like, so to say, the leaves above the roots. This is just how I did it. I tried to do a higher density near the tree stem, and the lowest density at like the roots of the trees. So that is kind of how you quickly make such a terrain. And what I did here on this area, I also made some haystacks, if they look like it. This was a wheat field, but then I thought it's too uniform, and I thought this is just wheat which has just been harvested. And this tree has also been just cut down, so I didn't replace these logs for the all-round bark texture. Other than that, just dandelions randomly, carrots, potato fields, and what I tried to do composition-wise, over there in the center, it's quite uniform everywhere. There are roots everywhere, trees quite evenly spaced out, and these fields are really quite oddly shaped. And thought the nose, I'm going to break that pattern a bit. I'm going to make it a few bigger fields, and I'm just going to make the trees in sort of kind of spots. And so yeah, there's one tree here with a massive root system, and among the roots are carrots, I think. Carrots and potatoes. Potatoes have quite dull dark green color, which I don't particularly like, so I didn't use much of that, but the green of the carrots, which is just lighter, I quite like. Then we have also wheat fields, and wheat is of course yellow when it's full grown, and this kind of looks a lot more interesting because the contrast with the green. The green makes it look a bit more fresh, and the yellow looks more aged and ripe or whatever. Then of course I also try to oh well, about the tree still. So there we have one tree, we have a row of trees, here is another row, and then here is another row. What I did with the scarecrows, in the center there again quite evenly spaced out. There are some intentional dark spaces, but it's quite light. That's because it connects one piece of the town to the other piece of the town, which is even further to there. And what I did here is best shown in dark, I guess, is far more sporadic, and there's just there in the center of the trees pretty much. Then we have some in the center of this field. There's one single behind these trees. That's because if you look at it from this angle, then having one light behind these trees will make it look quite interesting. So what's going on here? Oh, and the sun is also behind it. So here we have more dark spots, but we also have some light patches, and here again is another one behind trees, because it just obscures it a bit, makes it look a bit more interesting in my opinion. So that's why I tend to do stuff like that. And haystacks, cut down trees is a bit different. I'm probably going to stick a building here, or maybe two. I might do a barn, or two houses, small houses, maybe one small and one bigger. Kinda need to think about that. I'm not quite happy with how this area looks. I might do a building there. And so yeah, this is kind of how you do how I did the landscaping for the whale, the nose of the whale. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching and have an awesome day.